if you're a college player and you're a great college player, like Caitlin was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP at the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad name. Okay, so the kid was set up for failure right from the beginning.
For months, Caitlin Clark has been at the center of intense debates, sparking controversy and driving a movement that's changing women's basketball. Despite all the criticism, doubts, and attempts to downplay her influence, one thing is now undeniable: Caitlin Clark is the real deal, and now, even the biggest names in the WNBA, the MVPs, the legends, the ones who once questioned her rapid rise, are finally giving her the respect she has earned. At first, they were hesitant.
This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league, and she's a rookie.
At first, some refused to recognize her as a once-in-a-generation talent. Others downplayed her achievements, focusing more on her rookie challenges than the undeniable truth: she's transforming the game right before our eyes.
Gino, baby, if Caitlin Clark is on the team, it becomes the right team. Because Caitlin Clark is on it. It's like saying Michael Jordan's not on the right team. It's the right team if Michael Jordan is on the roster.
As the season went on, something changed. Caitlin Clark wasn't just keeping up in the WNBA, she was putting up incredible numbers. Her ability to draw millions of viewers, sell out arenas, and push the league's popularity to new heights became impossible to ignore. Now, even the players who once doubted her are speaking up. They're praising her court vision, deep shooting range, and, most importantly, her resilience. Stars like Breanna Stewart and legends like Diana Taurasi have started to change their stance, recognizing how she handles pressure, takes the hits, both on and off the court, and still delivers as one of the most electrifying players in the league. And then there's Cynthia Cooper, one of the most respected names in women's basketball. A 4-time WNBA champion, 2-time MVP, and Hall of Famer, she was the league's original powerhouse. Here's what she has to say about Caitlin Clark.
What does bother me is some of the people I deeply respect, their basketball credentials, their basketball history, their commitment to basketball and women's basketball, I think have really not covered themselves in glory with some of this commentary.
Cheryl Swoops has been one of the most vocal critics of Caitlin Clark, throwing subtle jabs and questioning whether she truly deserves all the attention. But Cynthia Cooper? She sees the game for what it is. She knows talent, leadership, and game-changing ability when she sees it, because she was that kind of player in her prime. Instead of joining the doubters, Cooper has openly praised Clark, recognizing her deep shooting range, elite passing, and undeniable impact in bringing millions of fans to the WNBA. And then there's Candace Parker, not just a former MVP, but one of the most decorated and influential players in women's basketball. She's witnessed the game's struggles with visibility and its recent surge in popularity. If Parker acknowledges Clark's impact, it's because she knows exactly what it takes to be a true game changer.
Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening.
Anytime new fans and fresh eyes are drawn to the game, it's a win, not just for the Indiana Fever, but for the entire WNBA. That's Candace Parker's perspective. And she's not just another player giving credit, she's a generational talent recognizing another one. More importantly, Parker understands the business side of basketball. She knows that marketability and star power are just as crucial as on-court performance when it comes to the WNBA's success. Caitlin Clark isn't just putting up stats, she's shattering viewership records, selling out arenas, and bringing unprecedented attention to the league. And now, Lisa Leslie has shared her thoughts. She's not just any WNBA legend, she's a Hall of Famer, a 4-time Olympic gold medalist, and one of the most respected voices in the game. She's witnessed the league's struggles and its growth firsthand. When Lisa speaks, people listen. That's why her shift in stance on Caitlin Clark matters.
Like I said earlier, they actually had odds that, she was like third or fourth in the betting odds to be MVP of the WNBA. That's such a slap in the face to every WNBA player. It's unbelievable, right?
Earlier in the season, Lisa Leslie was one of the few voices advocating for both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese to share the Rookie of the Year honor. But as the season progressed, Clark kept breaking records, elevating her teammates, and drawing millions of new fans to the WNBA. That's when Lisa's perspective shifted. Now, she's fully on board with Caitlin Clark. She's openly praising Clark's ability to handle pressure, take on veteran defenders, and still put on highlight reel performances night after night. Another major name giving Clark her flowers? Nneka Ogwumike. And her opinion carries serious weight. As a former WNBA MVP and one of the league's most respected veterans, Nneka isn't just a great player, she's been a leader on and off the court, serving for years as the president of the WNBA Players Association. She's been at the forefront of discussions about player treatment, league growth, and respect in women's basketball. More importantly, Nneka has always been an advocate for fairness in the league. So when she acknowledges Clark's impact, it's not just empty praise, it's a powerful statement from someone who truly understands what it takes to earn respect in this game.
You never know how quickly they're going to adapt to the WNBA game coming from college. And I think that Caitlin has done surprisingly well, how quickly she's adapted to this game. There's a lot of doubters out there, as we all know, and she has proved them all wrong.
Words matter. They bridge the gap between the league's veterans and its rising stars. When Nneka Ogwumike gives Caitlin Clark her flowers, it sends a message to the entire WNBA. Clark isn't just hype, she's the real deal. And when someone as influential as Nneka speaks, the league pays attention. Then there's Maya Moore. She's not just a former WNBA MVP, she's a legend. A four-time champion and one of the most dominant players in women's basketball history. And for Caitlin Clark, Maya Moore isn't just another great.
The worst part about new fans, they have no perspective. There's no context. So they just say ridiculous nonsense.
Caitlin Clark has never hidden her admiration for Maya Moore. In interviews, she's talked about growing up watching Maya dominate at UConn and in the WNBA, studying her game, her footwork, and her ability to take over in clutch moments. To Clark, Maya represents the pinnacle of greatness, a player who redefined the sport with her skill, leadership, and winning mentality. For months, Clark has faced criticism, doubt, and even outright hostility from some corners of the WNBA. But when a legend like Maya Moore acknowledges her greatness, it changes the conversation. And Maya isn't the only Hall of Famer taking notice. Tamika Catchings, another WNBA icon, has also shared her thoughts on the league's most influential rookie.
Our rival league is picking up players and they're getting ready to make a big splash in January with this league.
Tamika Catchings' ties to Indiana basketball make her perspective even more meaningful. As a Fever legend and one of the franchise's most beloved players, her voice carries weight with the same fan base now rallying behind Caitlin Clark. When someone of Catchings' stature recognizes Clark's talent and impact, it validates what fans and analysts have been saying all along. Clark isn't just a hyped-up rookie, she's a game-changer with the potential to leave a lasting legacy. Then there's Breanna Stewart, a championship winner and co-founder of Unrivaled. Her opinion on Clark matters because she's one of the most accomplished and respected players in WNBA history. And early in Clark's rookie season, Stewart was one of the first to believe in her.
She has decided not to do Unrivaled, even though Aaliyah Boston's doing it, Lexi Hull is doing it, Kate Martin is doing it, and despite all the rumors, and I'm sure the push that was put on her. But Clark has all the leverage in this situation, and I'm not saying she flexed it, but she was comfortable enough in her position to make the decision, and it appears that answer is no.
You should also hear from Caitlin Clark's veteran teammate, Erica Wheeler. She's a well-respected veteran in the WNBA, and her journey makes her perspective especially valuable. Unlike many players who entered the league as top college prospects, Wheeler went undrafted in 2015. She had to fight her way onto a roster through sheer determination and relentless work ethic. That kind of experience gives her a unique appreciation for what it takes to succeed at the highest level, making her thoughts on Clark even more meaningful.
Unless you have been living under a rock, you have heard about Caitlin Clark.
She's just a generational player and makes everybody around her better.
Caitlin Clark will go down as one of the best to ever play the game.
Women's basketball is under the spotlight right now because of Caitlin, and I think that.
Wheeler's journey gives her a unique perspective when evaluating talent like Caitlin Clark. She knows what it's like to be doubted, overlooked, and forced to prove yourself in a tough league. That's why her respect for Clark carries so much weight. She recognizes the dedication, skill, and resilience it takes to thrive at this level. And the admiration goes both ways. Clark holds Wheeler in high regard, valuing her leadership and experience as she navigates her own rookie season.
Great player, good person as well. She's been great, and I'm really excited for her at this next stage in her career.
Caitlin Clark becomes the all-time leading scorer in major college basketball. Another forever moment for this transformational superstar.
So when Wheeler talks about Clark, whether offering critiques or giving credit, it comes from someone who truly understands how tough it is to succeed in the WNBA, which brings us to a player many consider the GOAT, Diana Taurasi. Taurasi is widely regarded as one of the greatest WNBA players of all time. A multiple-time MVP, WNBA champion, and the league's all-time leading scorer, her resume speaks for itself. And when someone of her stature speaks, the entire basketball world listens.
Caitlin brought so much new attention to the rise in women's college basketball and the WNBA and women's sports in general. I feel like the weight of the world is on her shoulders, and she just has this heavy burden to carry, and she does it with grace and humility.
So when Taurasi initially downplayed Clark's ability to dominate in the WNBA, famously saying that rookies get a reality check when they enter the league, it only added fuel to the debate about Clark's impact. But despite the skepticism, Clark never fired back. Instead, she showed nothing but respect, offering heartfelt words for Taurasi as she recently retired, recognizing her legendary career and contributions to the game.
Clark for the win!
Our only comparable to her is Steph Curry.
Well, she did break my assist record at Iowa, so that's, something I have to live with my entire life. But I think what Caitlin Clark did is put eyes on our game. People that would never watch women's basketball are watching women's basketball now because of Caitlin Clark.
Taurasi may have retired from the WNBA, but not everyone is ready to give Caitlin Clark her flowers. Leading the charge is none other than Aja Wilson. While some WNBA MVPs have started to recognize Clark's impact, Wilson remains one of the loudest voices downplaying her success. From subtle jabs in interviews to dismissive comments about the attention Clark receives, Wilson has made it clear she's not interested in feeding into the Caitlin Clark phenomenon.
The college career that Caitlin had ignited a tremendous amount of attention.
Aja Wilson remains on the wrong side of history, refusing to acknowledge what so many others are finally starting to see. Caitlin Clark isn't just the future of the WNBA. The future is already here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. Stay tuned.
Incredible phenomenon that very rarely happens, and it certainly changed the landscape, no question.
Mesmerized by her.
Caitlin had the tongue out. She is feeling it tonight, folks.
She broke stereotypes. She played with the flair. She played with the confidence, the swagger that I think few have played with.
So much to grow the game and inspire young girls to play.
We're uplifting women basketball, and everybody's watching.
I think Caitlin will be in the record books forever. She's an amazing basketball player, but